Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Monday, September 3rd, 2018. A lot to get to today. Baseball yesterday. Look ahead to today's games. Go over the big college football game last night. Go talk about the U.S. Open a little bit. Do my weekly power rankings and players of the week for baseball. Do my NBA national TV announcer rankings. And I'm going to do guess the lines week 1 of the NFL season. All right, baseball. Tigers defeated the Yankees 11-7. As they get the split, they improved to 55-82. The Yanks dropped to 86-51. Matt Boyd improves to 9-12. Lance Lynn drops to 8-10. Funny thing about this game is that Aaron Boone served a 1-game suspension for arguing with the umpires in Friday night's game. The Blue Jays defeated the Marlins 6-1. As they improved to 62-74, the Marlins dropped to 54-83. Sean Reed-Foley improves to 1-2. Jeff Brigham drops to 0-1. The Brewers defeated the Nationals 9-4 as they improved to 77-61. The Nats dropped to 68-69. Brandon Woodruff improves to 3-0, and Jeffrey Rodriguez drops to 2-2. The Cubs defeated the Phillies 8-1 as they improved to 81-55. The Phillies dropped to 72-64. John Lester improves to 15-5. Aaron Nola drops to 15-4. The White Sox defeated the Red Sox 8-0 as they improved to 55-82. The Sox dropped to 94-44. James Shields improves to 6-5. Brian Johnson drops to 4-4. The Royals defeated the Orioles 9-1 as they improved to 45-91. The O's dropped to 40-97. Jorge Lopez improves to 1-3. David Hess drops to 3-9. The Reds defeated the Cardinals 6-4 in 10 innings as they improved to 59-78. The Cards dropped to 76-61. Michael Lorenzen improves to 2-1. Bud Norris drops to 3-4. Rafael Iglesias gets his 25th save of the year. The Rangers absolutely destroyed the Twins 18-4 as they improved to 60-77. The Twins dropped to 63-73. Yohander Mendez improves to 1-1. Gabriel Moya drops to 3-1. Eddie Butler gets his second save of the year. The A's defeated the Mariners 8-2. As they improved to 82-56, the Mariners dropped to 76-61. Edwin Jackson improves to 5-3. Felix Hernandez drops to 8-13. Blake Trinan gets his 35th save of the season. The Mets defeated the Giants 4-1 as they improved to 61-75. The Giants dropped to 68-70. Noah Syndergaard improves to 10-3. Chris Stratton drops to 9-8. The Rays defeated the Indians 6-4 as they improved to 73-63. The Indians dropped to 77-59. Ryan Yarbrough improves to 13-5. Carlos Carrasco drops to 16-8. Jose Alvarado gets his 7th save of the season. The Dodgers defeated the Diamondbacks 3-2 on a walk-off 2-run double by Matt Kemp as they improved to 75-62. And the Diamondbacks dropped to 74-63. The Dodgers are in sole possession of first place in the National League West. Kenley Jansen improves to 1-5. Brad Boxberger drops to 2-5. The Rockies defeated the Padres 7-3 as they improved to 74-62. The Pods dropped to 54-85. Kyle Freeland improves to 13-7. Jacob Nix drops to 2-3. The Braves defeated the Pirates 3-1 as they improved to 76-60. The Pirates dropped to 66-71. Johnny Venters improves to 3-0. Stephen Brault drops to 5-3. The Astros defeated the Angels 4-2 on Sunday Night Baseball as they improved to 84-53. The Angels dropped to 66-71. Garrett Cole improves to 13-5. Shohei Ohtani drops to 4-2. Roberto Osuna gets his 12th save of the year. I went 1-1 on the national games. I took Philly, I was wrong, and I took Houston, and I was correct. Today's games, 1 o'clock, ESPN. Red Sox, Braves, Nathan Eovaldi, 2K, Toussaint. Give me Atlanta. I absolutely love the Braves in this game. I really think that Nathan Eovaldi has regressed his last couple starts after the hot start with the Red Sox. And Touki Toussaint showed a lot of promise in his first start a while back ago. I think it was a few weeks ago. It could have been a couple days ago. I don't really remember when it was, but he looked very good, and the Braves are also a very good home team. Cardinals Nationals. Jack Flaherty and Max Scherzer. Phillies Marlins. Vince Velasquez, Jose Urena. Reds Pirates at 1:30. Matt Harvey and Trevor Williams. 2 o'clock Tigers White Sox. Michael Fulmer and Reynaldo Lopez. Cubs Brewers. Cole Hamels and Zach Davies. Twins Astros. Kyle Gibson and Dallas Keuchel. 3 o'clock Giants Rockies. Madison Bumgarner and Tyler Anderson. 4 o'clock ESPN Yankees Athletics. CC Sabathia and Trevor Cahill. The Yanks coming off a disappointing homestand in which they lost 4 of 7 to subpar teams. The A's have suffered some injuries in their rotation. They haven't played as well as they were over the last couple months. I feel like they lost a couple games that they probably should have won on paper or whatever, but their rotation is dealing with some injuries right now. Cahill is really good at home, but is 0-4 against the Yankees lifetime. Hard call, but give me the Yanks on the road to pick up a game on the Red Sox because I have Atlanta winning as well. Although I wouldn't rule out the A's in that game either. And plus, CC Sabathia is always great after a Yankee loss. Royals Indians, Jacob Junis and Adam Plutko. 7 o'clock Rays Blue Jays. Marcus Stroman's going for Toronto. Tampa Bay doesn't have a starter listed. It'll probably be an opener. Maybe the Tyler Glasnow or somebody like that. Angels Rangers at 8 o'clock. Matt Schumacher against Jeffrey Springs. Mets Dodgers. Jacob deGrom against Alex Wood. Padres Diamondbacks. Brian Mitchell and Zach Godley. At 9 o'clock, Orioles Mariners. Josh Rogers and Esmario Ramirez. College football last night, a big-time win for the LSU Tigers, 33-17 over Miami. LSU is certainly going to move up from 25. Miami's certainly going to drop from 8. Joe Burrow, 11 for 24, 140 yards. Malik Rozier, 15 for 35, 259 yards, a touchdown and an interception. North Carolina A&T upsets East Carolina 28-23. This game was supposed to be played Saturday, but they played it yesterday due to lightning. Khalil Carter, 7 for 9, 93 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Lamar Raynard, 10 for 20, 94 yards, and a touchdown pass. Reed Herring, 35 of 65, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. The U.S. Open's been going on throughout the weekend and through today. Dominic Thiem defeated Kevin Anderson. And I'm going over round 4, by the way. Rafael Nadal defeated Nicolas Basilashvili. John Isner defeated Milos Raonic. Juan Martin Del Porto defeated Borna Coric. And you have more action going on the men's side right now, believe it or not. Kenya Shorkey against Philip Kohlschreiber. Novak Djokovic goes off at 2 o'clock. Against Joao Sosa. At 4 o'clock, you have Marine Cilic against David Goffin. And then at 9 o'clock, John Millman against Roger Federer. So a good day of tennis today on the men's side. And yesterday from the women's side, Carolina Pliskova defeated Ashley Barty. Serena Williams defeated Kaya Kanepi. Anastasia Sevastova defeated Elena Svitolina. And Solane Stevens defeated Elise Mertens. And today at 12:15, you have Madison Keys against Dominika Sabolka. At 1:30, you have Ariana Sabalenka against Naomi Osaka. At 3 o'clock, you have Marketa Vondrousova against Lysaya Tarasenko. And at 7 o'clock, you have Carla Suarez Navarro against Maria Sharapova. So it should be a fun day of tennis. Now I'm going to do my baseball power rankings for the week. As I do every week, I go from 30 to 1. Number 30, I have the Baltimore Orioles. 29, the Royals. 28, Padres. 27, Marlins. 26, White Sox. 25, Tigers. 24, Mets. 23, Reds. 22, Blue Jays. 21, Twins. 20, Rangers. 19, Angels. 18, Pirates. 17, Giants. 16, Nats. 15, Rays. 14, Phillies. 13, Mariners. 12, Cardinals. 11, Brewers. 10, Braves. 9, Diamondbacks. 8, Rockies. 7, Dodgers. 6, Indians. 5, Athletics. 4, Cubs. 3, Yankees. 2, Astros. 1, Red Sox. It's actually debatable 2-1 right now because the Red Sox have not played great of late. They've been struggling against weaker opponents, as have the Yankees. So that's why I have the Yankees 3. But the reason why the Red Sox are still 1 is because they still have by far the best record in baseball, ahead of the Yankees and the Astros. Although the Astros are playing a lot better ball of late and getting healthy. The Yankees and the A's have a big series starting today, as I talked about. The Red Sox have a bit of a tough schedule ahead, too. They have Atlanta coming up, and then I believe they have Cleveland over the weekend. In Cleveland. And in the National League West, the Dodgers have taken sole possession in that division. I think they're going to win that division. They're the best team in that division. You could argue they're the team to beat in the National League. It's either them or the Cubs, in my mind. And the Cubs have Chris Bryant back in the lineup. A team that I think is heading in the wrong direction is the Philadelphia Phillies. They have not played great baseball. They lost a couple bad ones to the Nationals over the last couple weeks. They lost 2 out of 3 of the Cubs. That big win Friday night, walk-off by Asdrubal Cabrera, I feel like was their only big win over the last couple weeks, other than when Aaron Nola outpitched Max Scherzer in D.C. I believe that was 2 weeks ago now. The Mariners are a team that's a little inconsistent. They're slowly playing their way out of the wild card race, so it's really Yankees-A's at this point. Unless if the A's and the Yankees catch up to the Astros and the Red Sox respectively, which I doubt. The Cardinals are pulled off a little bit after playing a lot better. Milwaukee's playing a little better. Although I think the Cardinals are a better team than the Milwaukee Brewers. And a team that's out of the race but is playing great baseball is the Tampa Bay Rays. They are the best spoiler team out there right now. I don't think it's close. The Nationals are playing a little bit better as a spoiler. They've beaten Philly a couple times. So they deserve some spoiler love in the National League, but in terms of anybody in baseball, it's Tampa Bay. They beat Atlanta. They swept Boston. They've taken a couple series from the Yankees. They beat the Indians. They took that series in Cleveland. So this Tampa Bay team is for real. And nobody should be overlooking them. Players of the week, American League, I'm going to go with Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros. He's playing very well right now in the National League. Somebody that I expect to have a big breakout season. But he's turning on the second half of the season. That's Hunter Renfroe of the San Diego Padres. Breaking news right now on the podcast, the Eagles officially named Nick Foles the starting quarterback for the opener against the Falcons. That tells me that Carson Wentz isn't ready yet. And that is not good for Philadelphia. Foles has had a terrible preseason. Although you don't want to overreact to preseason play. I'm going to guess the lines in a couple minutes on the podcast. So that line is probably now adjusted due to the fact that it's Foles instead of Wentz. And I made my pick assuming it was Foles rather than Wentz, because I would have had a much higher pick if Wentz was the starter. Now I'm going to do my NBA National TV play-by-play announcer rankings. There's only 12 guys on the list because they have 2 networks broadcasting games, one being the ESPN ABC and the other being Turner. And I'm going to go from 12 to 1. All these guys are talented and great at what they do, but this is just my opinion. 12, Mark Hestisher, he does ESPN games. He doesn't do games often. Sometimes he'd fill in on the regular season game if somebody had a college football assignment or whatnot. He usually does games earlier in the season when Dave Pasch and Mark Jones are on college football duties on a Friday night or whatever, or if Ryan Ruocco has somewhere else to be, or Mike Breen has a Knicks game. That's when you see Mark Hestisher, when all those other guys have other assignments. As well as number 11 on the list, Adam Amin. He does good at baseball, too. And he's a rising star in the business. 10 is Spiro Ditas. He does games for Turner. He does playoff games for them and for NBA TV, too. NBA TV is a Turner affiliate, as we all know. He's best at basketball and football, but anything else he's really not that great at. And he brings a lot of enthusiasm as well. 9 is Pete Pranica. He does games for NBA TV. He did playoff games for them last year. He's the voice of the Memphis Grizzlies. 8 is Dave Pasch of ESPN. He's solid at what he does. He's known to be the voice of the Arizona Cardinals on the radio. He does college football. He does college basketball. He's a good basketball announcer, too. 7 is Brian Anderson of Turner. You can make a case he should be higher on this list, but this guy is absolutely great, and he's one of Turner's better announcers for not only basketball, but for baseball, too. 6 is Mark Jones of ESPN. He's really good at what he does. He, like Dave Pasch, calls college basketball, too, and college football. 5 is Kevin Harlan of Turner. He still has it at his age, and he always brings enthusiasm to the table. He also does football for CBS and college basketball for Turner. 4 is Ryan Ruocco, rising star in the business. He does games for ESPN. He hosts the WNBA games as well. He's the voice of the WNBA finals every year. But this guy is a rising star in the business, as I said. He fills in for Ian Eagle on the Yes Network, as well as Michael Kay for the Yankees. Well, Ian Eagle for the Nets, obviously. And this guy's going to be around for a while. He's very, very young, too. 3 is Ian Eagle of Turner. This guy's high because he is just full of energy, and he never disappoints. He does great with college basketball as well. He does great at football, and he's really great with the Nets. 2 is Marv Albert, the lead announcer for Turner Sports. He's been their lead guy for years now. And him at his age, like Harlan, still has it. And everybody loves his yes call that he always tends to do for big moments. And number 1 is obvious. It's Mike Breen, the voice of the NBA. He's the voice of the NBA Finals on ABC. He's the lead announcer for ESPN. He's the voice of the New York Knicks. He's very good at what he does. He's always there for big moments too, and he's very respectful just to everybody in the business. And he always never disappoints as well. And he's always honest of how a team is performing or how good or bad of a job the officials are doing as well. Now I'm going to do NFL Week 1 Guess the Lines. During the seasons, I'm actually going to be doing college football Guess the Lines on Mondays and NFL Guess the Lines on Tuesdays, but this week's going to be reversed because we have a college football game tonight between Virginia Tech and Florida State. So we'll save college football Guess the Lines Week 2 for tomorrow, and then today I'm going to do NFL Week 1 Guess the Lines. And on Tuesdays I'll be doing NFL Guess the Lines in general because Monday Night Football usually happens every week. All right. The first game is Thursday night, 8:20, NBC, Falcons at the Eagles. It was just announced that Nick Foles will be the starter. My guess is that Philadelphia will be laying 2.5 to the Falcons with this news of Nick Foles getting the start. And the line is Philadelphia minus 2.5. So a correct pick for me right off the bat. The next game is the Steelers at the Browns. I think Pittsburgh. I have to adjust this line a little bit because of the status of Le'Veon Bell. My original guess was 9.5. Now I think that drops to 6.5 because I think Le'Veon Bell is worth a lot of points. So I think Pittsburgh is laying 6.5 to the Browns, and Pittsburgh is laying only 4.5 to the Browns. That is dumbfounding to me. Le'Veon Bell or not, that is too low. Pittsburgh should be laying a lot more than 4.5 on the road. And I don't get this Browns optimism because they have a bad coaching staff. They have talent, but it's the Browns. The Steelers are a perennial Super Bowl contender. That's very disrespectful to Ben Roethlisberger. The Bengals at the Colts, I think that is a pick'em. And Indianapolis is laying 3 points. I understand that because these two teams are seen to be even by the eyes of Vegas, so they just give the home team 3 points. But I don't see it that way. I think the Bengals are a superior team to the Colts, and I think that with the Colts having the home field advantage, it should be at least a pick'em. I have the Tennessee Titans laying 4.5 points to the Miami Dolphins. And Tennessee is laying only 1.5. To me, that's a little baffling too, because I don't expect the Dolphins to be good. We don't know how Ryan Tannehill will look. I just think there's just people pessimistic about the Titans. But I just think that Miami is not going to be good whatsoever this season. I have the Vikings laying 4.5 points to the San Francisco 49ers, and Minnesota's laying 6. I understand that because the Vikings are an excellent home team. So I was only 1.5 off, but I was okay with being 1.5 off because I think the 49ers, spoiler alert to Wednesday's podcast with the predictions, I think the 49ers are a little overhyped, and I think the Vikings have one of the more talented rosters in football. I believe the New England Patriots are laying 7 points to the Houston Texans. New England's laying 6.5, so I was only a half point off there. The New Orleans Saints, I have laying 12 points. Yes, 12 points to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And New Orleans is only laying 9.5. I think that's stupid. New Orleans, I believe, is a no-brainer to be favored by double digits. Tampa Bay is a mess. Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting for them week 1 because Jameis Winston's suspended. So I think that's a little ridiculous. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars laying 3 points on the road against the New York Giants. And I got that pick correct. Jacksonville is laying 3. We'll have to change this. I said Ravens -3. Now with the Bills announcing Nate Peterman as their new starting quarterback, I now have the Ravens laying 7 points against the Bills. I originally had it at 3 because I assumed it'd be Josh Allen, and I wasn't sure how high Vegas was going to be on the Ravens or not. But I have now the Ravens laying 7 points to the Buffalo Bills, and now the Ravens are laying 7 points to the Buffalo Bills. So that's my third correct pick. I have the Chargers laying 3.5 against the Chiefs. And the Chargers are laying only 3 against the Chiefs. So I was a half point off on that one. And I think that line is correct. I have the Denver Broncos laying only 1 point to the Seattle Seahawks. Denver's laying 3. I'm okay with that. It's for the same reason why the Colts are laying 3. Like, just, if you're undecided, just lay 3 to the home team. I just took Denver -1 because of the home field, and those fans in Denver are going to be very, very rowdy. And I don't really love the idea of Russell Wilson with a not-so-great offensive line on the road in a hostile environment against that pass rush. So Denver deserves to be a favorite in that game. The Redskins and the Cardinals, I originally said Cardinals -1.5. But I'm going to say a pick 'em. And it is a pick 'em. So that's another line I got correct. The Cowboys against the Panthers, I think the Panthers will be laying 5.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. I just think that the Panthers should be a big favorite, or a bigger favorite than you would think against the Cowboys team that expectations are a little bit lowered for this season. And Carolina's only giving 2.5. I think that's ridiculous. I don't get this Cowboys optimism at all, especially on the road. If it was in Dallas, then Dallas probably should be either favored by 3 or it would have been a pick 'em. But Carolina's a good home team, and I really think that they should be giving more than 2.5. The primetime game, Bears-Packers, I have the Packers laying 7.5. And the Packers are laying 7.5. Good pick by me. Monday night, Jets-Lions, I have the Lions laying 6. The Lions are laying 6.5, so a half point off there. Rams-Raiders. I originally had Rams -4.5 against the Raiders, but I'm going to bump that up to 6 because I just think that the talent gap without Khalil Mack there in Oakland now is significant. So I'm going to say the Rams should be laying 6 against the Raiders, and the Rams are laying 5 against the Raiders. So I was a full point off there. I'm okay with that. All right, that's it for Guess the Lines Week 1. I did pretty good for myself. I got at least 5 picks right. I got Falcons-Eagles right. I got Jags-Giants right. I got Bills-Ravens right. Redskins-Cardinals right. Bears-Packers right. So that's 5 picks correct. Good for me. And a couple of those picks I had to change because of injuries and quarterback changes and some surprises. So that's that. Tomorrow I'll be back with College Football Week 2, Guess the Lines, go over today's baseball action, look ahead to tomorrow's action, go over the U.S. Open results from today, and whatever else goes on in the world of sports. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.